good evening. I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. Topping the news tonight, a local business owner is warning the public about a disturbing situation that has left her with a hefty power bill and many unanswered questions. Perplexed as to how it could have taken place, she's calling for those involved to be brought to justice. Co-owner of Hot Shots, Erica Dean, says they recently discovered that another establishment in the business complex in the Regent Center West was stealing power from the photo shop. She says she immediately reported the matter.
Grand Bahama Power dragged their feet in coming to deal with the situation. Therefore, I had to bring in someone to deal with the situation for me. When the electrician went in the meter room, it was discovered that wires were hooked up to mine with someone else's on their meter box, jumping power.
Dean says she was alerted to the situation when she noticed that her monthly bill, which is usually around $500, tripled over the past several months.
When I got my bill out of the post on Friday, my bill skyrocketed very high. And I normally read my meter on a monthly basis, so I know my usage. Therefore, I know something was drastically wrong. Yet I went directly to Freeport Power and I told them something has to be wrong because my normal demand for power is 4 and my demand now went sky high to 11. My usage in kilowatts is normally 900 to 1,000 plus the most, and now it's went straight to 3,009.
She says when technicians from the power company arrived, the wires had been removed from Hot Shot's meter box. She believes this matter should not be taken lightly, and she adds that she's disappointed with the slow response from Grand Bahama Power.
When it comes to customer service, they don't give you service. If it was that I was behind in my bill or my power needed to be turned off, they would be here quickly to turn it off, or they would do their own investigation, actually even taking out your own power, taking out the meter box. But when it comes to me making a complaint, it's a problem, and they drag their feet. And the only reason they actually came here yesterday is because when I made my discovery, I went straight to the police station, and the police station actually called Freeport Power to come here.
This small business owner says the company is now left to pay a hefty power bill for electricity they did not consume during these tough economic times. She says they are willing to take measures to ensure that justice is served. Now, Acting Director of Resource Management and Stakeholder Relations at the Grand Bahama Power Company, Filcher Grant Farquharson, told ZNS News that Grand Bahama Power takes matters involving theft seriously. She says they are working with police, and it is a priority to investigate each and every report of theft levied by consumers. In other news, they were counting ballots well into the evening at the Grand Bahama Taxi Union building. Elections were held yesterday, and taxi drivers turned out to vote for the candidates of their choice. Incumbent David Jones was returned as president, beating out his opponent Rodney Forbes Jr. by a vote of 137 to 102.
God be all the glory. I must say this was the highest voter turnout ever. So the members really wanted to see change in their organization. I think they elected persons who are capable of moving the union forward. And again, we want to thank all the members. In spite of a hard-fought victory, I think we're going to do pretty well this year. And I have a good executive team behind me. Again, we have to reach out to some other members that are disgruntled. We will work extremely hard so we can move this organization forward.
Harold Curry is the first vice president, Ulitha Strawn the second vice president, Clement Pinder is the transportation director, Edric Russell is the treasurer, and will be assisted by Linda Williams. The general secretary is Joyce Thomas. Shirley Hall is the assistant general secretary. The trustees are Elisha Wood, Livingston Butler, and Arlington Allen. Bahamas Striping has its eyes set on establishing a manufacturing plant here on Grand Bahama. The leading specialist road marking company in the Bahamas is looking to invest $750,000 in the facility that they hope to build in West Grand Bahama. President Atario Mitchell says they hope to manufacture several products, including a cold patch. Bahamas Striping is currently working on a project in the Seahorse Shopping Plaza, and he says he hopes this 100% Bahamian-owned company becomes a permanent fixture on Grand Bahama.
We're fixing all the cracks, all the potholes, and so forth with our environmentally friendly coal patch. This is a product that we intend to manufacture here in Freeport, actually, in the western part of Grand Bahama. We plan on putting up a manufacturing plant where we will be able to manufacture and ship out the products throughout the Bahamas and throughout the Caribbean.
Mitchell says he believes Grand Bahama offers a number of advantages that should make a manufacturing plant a success. Bahamas Striping is currently searching for land in West Grand Bahama to set up that plant that could provide jobs for close to 20 people. Mitchell says work could begin by June of next year.
Decided to bring the plant here, for one, because the government was given an exemption on duties for persons to do business outside of the Freeport area. So that's one of the components. Also, when you look at the container port have a reach not just in the Caribbean but globally. So that's the next component that we saw was a good fit to actually having the plant here in Freeport. The family islands and throughout the whole Bahamas uses coal patch. The government actually imports it. So if we could have a local firm here that is manufacturing it, creating local jobs, to me that would be a good plus for the government as well. But also this, like I say, our intent is to supply this coal patch throughout the Caribbean.
The Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival Commission pitching a strong educational campaign to make the country more aware of the international event planned for May of next year. Tonight, chairman of the commission as well as ministers of the government are sharing some of the features of the carnival concept that is expected to generate big tourism dollars for the country. Shashina Roll has the story.
Bahamas Carnival 2015 is fastly approaching, and $10 million is being spent to ensure that this first extravaganza is filled with entertainment and a burst of Bahamian culture. While the main event will be taking place in New Providence, Chairman of the Bahamas Carnival Commission, Paul Major, urged Junkanoo leaders here on Grand Bahama to get involved.
It's about making a direct investment in culture and the people that are in the arts and culture, be it Junkanoo, be it the performing arts, be it the visual arts, be it cuisine, be it anything and everything that you do that could make money in and around culture. Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, Danny Johnson, says this parade is all about cultural sustainability. We know what we have in the Bahamas. We know what we had years ago. It's bandished about a lot. People are talking about, the nightclubs you used to have, the scenarios you had in art and culture. We also have to be honest with ourselves. We've lost ground. We have to also be honest with ourselves. The generation of the Ronnie Butlers, Count Bernardinos, they've done their work, King Eric, and they're moving on. And the question for fellows of my generation is, well, how do we replace them? And how do we keep what we have at least, but even improve on it in the 21st century? The nation's leader is the visionary behind the Bahamas Carnival, and Johnson says he believes the Bahamas will do it bigger and better than any other country. Because he went down to Trinidad and challenged the Trinidadians and say, boy, we coming. And then I went there like 2 months later, and boy, they wanted to fight. But it is that everywhere in the world, the cultural showcase, the national cultural showcase, attracts now worldwide attention. And for us in the Bahamas, we have not been able to place our art and culture on the world scene in a consistent way. The Minister for Tourism, the Honorable Obi Wolshcombe, is also excited about the future of this 4-day parade. He says it is all about creating economic opportunity.
This is a carnival that is aimed at generating new ideas, new opportunities, opening new doors for all Bahamians. And so here in Grand Bahama, we can't get left out. We can't believe that the event is happening in the capital and we're not going to be a part of it. Well, we have to be a part of it. Our committee here in Grand Bahama, or those persons who will be responsible in Grand Bahama, must begin to think about the things we can do. Look at the wonderful event staged by tourism in Goombay. Look at the thousands of people who come to Goombay each summer. Well, just imagine if you stage a series of events beginning in November or December or January, leading to May. Just think about the pre-events that lead to Carnival.
Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. There's more news after this.